really struggled a lot with anxiety and was on daily medication, taking tablets 3 times a day for it actually. The anxiety came on probably mostly because of a really terrible marriage and then divorce that I went through. Anybody who's ever dealt with anxiety knows the impact it has on your whole life. I'm Carla Mueller, and I'm from Los Angeles, California. I grew up in San Diego, just a few hours south of there, but I've been there a good 15 years. It was a really great place to grow up. It was, pretty and nice and good schools, and it's pretty much everything you've heard of. It is very, very laid back. And I moved to Belfast about 2 years ago to study on a master's course for conflict resolution and reconciliation. It's part of Trinity College, but up here in Belfast, and it was incredible, but it was also very hard. And for 3 years before I came, I had really struggled a lot with anxiety and was on daily medication, taking tablets 3 times a day for it actually. And then when I moved here, I went in to refill my prescription, and they told me that it was actually not something they could give me here. I should have only been on it for a month probably, and I'd been on it for 3 years, and it wasn't really safe actually for me to have been on it for that long. So I wanted to get off anyway, and then I really didn't have a choice. What the medicine did was slow down my heart rate. My heart would race crazily all day and all night without it, just because of this anxiety that I had. And so this happened, and I was in the middle of a really intense master's course and studying really intense things, genocide and things like that. So and I'm trying to write my papers and all of that, and when I didn't have that medicine anymore, it was pretty hard. So I really didn't have any choice other than to ask God to heal me. And I had been praying for a long time, but had thought it would be sort of, it would happen and then I could go off of the medicine, but that's not how it worked out. So I came to Healing Grounds, and I came not every week, but I came a lot of weeks. I would come just, maybe every other week, and it was always a different group of people praying for me, but it was incredible, and I was just so blessed and encouraged every time. The anxiety came on probably mostly because of a really terrible marriage and then divorce that I went through. And not many people, some knew that I'd been divorced, but they definitely didn't know the story at all. And so there were words that I knew had directly to do with that. And so that was definitely really meaningful when they came up, and then seeing the connection between that whole experience and everything that happened in that and where I was today, and seeing how God was healing me bit by bit through it. I guess there were things that I didn't really realize how much they had wounded me, I think. And then because there were, these words that brought up, and oh, well, yeah, I guess that could have done some damage, I suppose. And yeah, it definitely did. There were nights that I think more happened than others, kind of more came up and was prayed into. But then there were others that it was just like boom, 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 hitting things that there's no way anybody would have known about, and just a lot of encouragement. And definitely I was given several scriptures to meditate on through that applied directly to me, and so I did definitely use those throughout. And even when you go in and there's the little cards that are made with the scriptures there, I still have it in my purse. They're with me all the time. And so I would, being on the bus, if it started getting real bad, I'd go through and say them and remind myself of the truth, and that helped. Everybody, from when I walked in to when I left, and people praying for me, they were just so kind and compassionate, and I felt really, really loved and cared for. And nothing was immediate. It was definitely a process, but over the course of 6 months, I got to the point where I wasn't taking any medication at all. The doctor had given me something else that didn't work as well, really, but to kind of get me through. But I didn't need to take it at all, even, which was pretty incredible. And And now I've been home for 9 months, and it doesn't even occur to me that, oh gosh, I wish I had that now. Nothing has happened. I'm completely healed. And anybody who's ever dealt with anxiety knows the impact it has on your whole life. And so it has just been such an incredible blessing, and it feels like a new life, really, to be healed and to be able to go on and not have to worry about that. And I feel much more like I'm myself and can be and do what God wants me to. You stay classy, San Diego.